It was back last October, I believe it was. We was going to hold a tent service off this college town. And we got there about dinner time on Saturday. And different ones of us thought that we ought to get some mouthful to eat before that we set up the tent. And so we followed this little bitty bunch of people through this little bitty patch of woods there. And pretty soon we come up on a sign that said, "Get something to eat here." Well, I went up and got my 2 hot dogs and a big orange drink. And before I could take a mouthful of that food, this whole raft of people come up around me, up like where I couldn't eat nothing, and I dropped my big orange. Well, there wasn't so much I could do but move with them. And so we kept on moving up through there. Pretty soon we come up on a sign that said North Gate. They went right on through there. I kept looking. Pretty soon we come up on a young boy, and he said, "Ticket, please." I said, "Friend, I don't have a ticket. I don't even know where it is I'm going." Well, he said, "Come out as quick as you can." I said, "I'll do her. I'll turn right around the first chance to get." So we kept on moving up through there, and pretty soon I got to where I could see pretty good because they partied. And I looked down there, and I seen this whole raft of people sitting on these 2 banks and looking at one another across this pretty little green cow pasture. And someone had wrote in white lines all over it and drove all kind of posters in it, and I don't know what all. And I looked down there, and I seen 5 or 6 convicts running up and down and blowing whistles. And I also looked and saw these pretty girls wearing these little short dresses and dancing around. And so I thought I would stay and see what was going to happen. And about that time I looked down there, and 30 or 40 men come running out of one end of a great big outhouse. And the bank fool got up and hollered. And about that time, 30 or 40 men come running out of the other end of that outhouse, and the other bank fool, they got up and hollered. And I looked at this fellow sitting beside me. I said, "Friend, what is it that they're hollering for?" Well, he whopped me on the back and he said, "Buddy, have a drink." I said, "Well, I believe I will have another big orange." And so I got it, came back and sat back down. And I looked down there and I noticed that those men had gotten into 2 groups real close together. And they voted. They voted and elected 1 man apiece that came out in the middle of that cow pasture and shook hands like they hadn't seen one another a long time. And a convict come out to where they were standing, and he pulled out a quarter and they commenced to odd manning right there. Well, pretty soon I seen what it was that says odd manning for. It was that both bunches full wanted this funny looking little pumpkin to play with. And I know, friends, that they couldn't eat it because they kicked it the whole evening and it never busted. Well, as it turns out, one bunch of them men got that pumpkin and it made the other bunch just as mad as they could be. And I seen, friends, that evening the awfulest fight that I'd ever seen in my life. They would run at one another and kick one another and throw one another down and grind their feet into one another and I don't know what all. And just as soon as one would get hurt, they'd tote him off and run another one on. Well, they did that as long as I sat there. But pretty soon this boy that had said, "Ticket, please," he come up to me and he said, "Friend, it is that you're going to have to leave because you don't have a ticket." And I said, "Well, all right." And I got up and left. And I don't know, friends, to this day what it was that they were doing down there, but I have studied about it. And I think that it's some kind of a contest to where they see which bunch full of them men can take that pumpkin and run from one end of that cow pasture to the other without getting knocked down or stepping in something.